Hello everyone, today we are going to look at how to configure Cloudflare DNS settings to point an S3 bucket. Cloudflare free tier comes with limitations. One of the limitations that you can't change the name servers. So configuring a hosted zone in Route 53, then pointing your name servers to that hosted zone is out of question. What we have to do is directly point to our domain to S3 bucket. We will configure one bucket as site bucket, and this bucket will be used to host our statically generated website. You can use any framework like Next or Next.js to generate your static website. And for sake of the video, I will use only index.html file. Additionally, we will create a second bucket. We are creating it just to show you how to configure the subdomain in the Cloudflare DNS settings. It has no other purpose than showing you how to configure subdomain. Okay. Before going any further, I want to mention the requirements for this to work. First requirement is bucket name should comply with the domain. So if our domain is howwas.dev, then our bucket name should be howwas.dev. And another limitation is the bucket name should be unique all around the world. For this to work, no one before you shouldn't be created howwas.dev bucket. Okay, this is another limitation for this to work. And our subdomain is asset.howwas.dev, so our bucket name should be asset.howwas.dev. Second requirement is bucket should be publicly available. I will show this configuration to you in a moment. And third requirement is static website hosting must be enabled on the bucket. Okay, we have gone over the requirements. Let me show you infrastructure as code for our buckets. Then we will look at the console for these buckets. Okay, we're creating a new bucket and we are enabling the static website hosting as third requirement. Then with this three property, we are making the bucket publicly available and giving the bucket name which is compliant with our domain name. And we're creating the second bucket with the same configuration. This is our infrastructure as code. For sake of the video, I already deployed this stack to AWS. If we look at our stack in the console, we will see our buckets in here. Let me open them. I also populated them with files. Our site bucket consists our index.html file and our asset buckets consist index.json. These are the dummy files. We will access them in a moment. Let me show you our configuration also in the console. We will see here blocking the public access is off. Okay, and our bucket policy allows us to reach any object in this bucket. You can read this policy as a sentence. Here it says allow S3 get object on this bucket for any resource, for anyone. Again, you need these configurations for this to work. That's our permission tab. And let me show you how can you enable static site hosting on console as well. This is our static website hosting tab. You will click edit and enable static website hosting. We already accomplished it via infrastructure as code. And here we have our endpoint for the bucket. This is important for us. Let me copy it and go to our DNS settings on the Cloudflare. Okay, you will click DNS records and you will land on this window. Here you can see I already created our CNAME records, but I will go over them one by one just to show you without missing any step. So first we start with the root configuration. We will use @ to indicate root, and we will click CNAME, and as a target we will copy paste this URL without the protocol. Okay, what I mean by protocol is you will remove the HTTP part and copy rest of it. This is a when we investigate this URL, you will see this is your bucket name and rest of it is universal. Okay, every static website in S3 will use this portion as the rest of it. We will copy this and paste as target. Actually, it didn't work since we are using the browser. Let me clearly show you in our editor. You will only take this portion of the copied URL. Okay, I will copy it in here, then paste it in the target and save it. I also enable proxy just to get sweet protection on attacks and enable caching. You can use it on free tier. For the subdomain, we will choose CNAME, and this time we will write asset.howwas.dev, and as a target, this time we will take the URL of asset bucket. Again, I will clean up this URL in my editor, and I will paste it in here and save it. And we have completed our DNS configuration. Now we can go to our website. I will directly go to my root domain. Okay, and we have successfully reached our index.html. Let us check our subdomain if it works. We will write asset.howwas.dev and we will reach out to index.json. Okay, and let me go to network tab, and we have successfully reached to our asset bucket. If we also look at our response headers, we will see here 304 not modified. This is because we have caching enabled thanks to Cloudflare. You can see when was it last modified and other headers. I believe a hard part of this process is knowing these requirements and complying with these requirements. Otherwise, configuring your DNS settings is relatively easy. I hope this video will be useful for you, and see you in the next one.